بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
سبحان الذي سخر لنا هذا وما كنا له مقرنين وإنا إلى ربنا لمنقلبون.
Assalamualaikum, welcome back to my channel. Hari ini kita berada di lokasi Dolomites Templar, lokasi yang berhampiran dengan lebuh raya tu. Seperti biasa, kita akan lepaskan red koi guppy. Dan sebelum kita lepaskan ikan red koi guppy tu, kita perlu buat proses acclimation supaya bila kita lepaskan ikan guppy tu ke dalam longkang, ikan takkan terkejutlah dengan perubahan suhu dan parameter air di sini. Proses acclimation ni adalah satu proses yang mana kita masukkan air longkang setitik demi setitik ke dalam bekas yang kita bawa tu. Jadi bila kita titik perlahan-lahan macam ni, jadi perubahan suhu dan parameter air tu pun berubah secara perlahan-lahan. Dan sementara kita menunggu proses acclimation ini siap, kita diving ke lokasi ini untuk lihat perkembangan koloni-koloni ikan di sini. Selamat menonton dan semoga terhibur. Kepada yang baru di sini, mohon subscribe, like, and share. Terima kasih.
Some might say, you know what we believe? Well, we're too sophisticated to just let that happen to us. My loved ones, my people, all of you guys, me, I want to meet you guys, I want to see everyone, I want to have more time. All these restrictions and everything that's finite, I want it to become infinite. And so, where was I before I was born? I'm so weak that I don't even know where I was before I was born, had it not been for revelation to explain to you. Nobody, no amount of science can ever tell you where you were before you were born, completely. They might say, at a certain point, they might say, well, you were in the form of semen or an egg or a little bit of whatever in the loins of your forefathers. What about the beginning of man? They can't even go back and trace that at times. Subhanallah. You ask them, how old is the earth? And they'll tell you a few million years. I heard someone say 20 million. I heard someone say 200 million. It's just calling shots, subhanallah. Say 12 million. I say, well, for 12 million years, man has just progressed and progressed and progressed. And in the last few hundred years, in the last 100 years, man has technologically advanced like never before. But still, man cannot answer certain questions. Person dies, where do they go? Where do they go? Don't take risks, my brothers and sisters, no risks involved. I worship my maker, him alone. Oh, you who made me, I worship you. I put my head on the ground for you. I stay away from bad things. So Allah has prohibited things, intoxicants prohibited, because He wants you to use your brain. That's it. That is it. Had intoxicants not covered your brain and made you, not be able to think properly and do things properly, Allah would never have prohibited it, not at all. Evidence of that is there will be wines in heaven that will be non-intoxicating. And the term wine initially in the English language refers to pure extract of fruits and so on. You know, that fruit juice, it used to be called wines. When they say so and so drank wine in the scriptures, they're not talking of intoxication, they're talking of the purest of fruit blends. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. May Allah bless us with those juices and blends and extracts of the fruits in Jannah and in this dunya in a beautiful way, non-intoxicating. So Allah says, something is bad for you, I've told you it's bad for you, and I don't want you to do it. So whatever Allah has prohibited, it's not good for you, whether you understand it or not. When Allah says dress in a certain way, if you don't, there will be repercussions. What they will be, people may have the courage to talk about or may not have the courage to talk about. Because in actual fact, when we look at the freedom of the world or on the globe today, some people say that we're not actually free to say what we want. We're only free to say what is acceptable to others. That's meaning, that's what some people say. That You can't just say what you want because you'll be in trouble. Is that true? SubhanAllah. Well, some people have the courage to tell you, you don't dress appropriately. This is what happens. There is a psychological impact, there is an impact here, there is a loss of respect, there is whatever. And others will say, go to hell, you're talking nonsense. Well, we're facing it. In the last few years, in the last decades, we're seeing things and results. You can go and study. You can go and have a peep at what's going on. SubhanAllah. Where are people losing it completely? Allah says, when you lose me, you will lose yourself. SubhanAllah. So, when the rules and regulations are set by Allah, I promise you they're only set in order for us to be able to live the best of lives and succeed in this world and the next. That's Allah. So this is what makes it unique. And this is why I say I will worship Allah alone. His names, His qualities are unique. No one can be similar to Allah in any way. Nothing at all. ليس كمثله شيء وهو السميع البصير. He is all hearing, He is all seeing, He is just, and He will serve the justice. People get away with things on earth. It's not going to be forever. They're going to face the justice one day. My brothers and sisters, it's an amazing topic. Who is Allah? Why is He worthy of worship? He's worthy of worship because He made me, and I'm going to go back to Him. When I go back to Him, subhanAllah, it's just going to be one of those amazing days. Before you were born, you were in the womb of your mother. And I always love giving this example. As you come onto the earth, you never ever remember what it was like there in the womb of your mother. But if you knew how tight it became and how difficult and small it became in the womb, and then suddenly you crossed a membrane and you were in a place you never believed existed. It was so different, and there was just a membrane between you and what we know today as life. Well, in a similar way, you're going to cross through sakarat, or the pangs of death, and you cross through a small membrane, again, where your soul departs the body, and you will then float into something known as a barzakh. It is a certain place that Allah's kept as a transition between this life and the Day of Judgment. SubhanAllah. And we will float straight through that and go in such an amazing, unique way. I can't wait for that day. SubhanAllah. Try your best. Seek forgiveness of Allah and have hope in the mercy of Allah. Better your ways and habits. Try and understand revelation. When Allah says do something or don't do something, ask yourself, why is this? Not because I'm defying Allah, just if I understand this, it's much better. There is always an explanation. But even if you don't understand it, remember, Allah knows better than you. You know, when your mom tells you don't play with the knife, but you enjoy it, it's silver, it looks nice, you're going to cut yourself. And then when you cut yourself, your mom says, didn't I tell you? Well, Allah's example is high. Allah says, don't do this and don't do that. When Allah's prohibited adultery and fornication, He's prohibited sexual misconduct, He's prohibited immorality and evil, bad words, He's prohibited worshipping anyone or anything besides Him. He's prohibited insulting others. He wants you to be just and fair. He wants you to be disciplined, completely disciplined. He wants you to pray, to get up at a certain time, to sleep at a certain time. May Allah forgive us for our shortcomings. And sincerely, sometimes we actually make mistakes and we do wrong, intentionally or unintentionally, but not out of defiance of Allah. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive all of us and grant us goodness. I hope these few words have actually motivated us in our worship of Allah alone, and in learning a little bit more and in obeying the instruction of Allah. May Allah bless you all. أقول قولي هذا والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Proses acclimation pun dah siap. Jom kita pergi lepaskan ikan-ikan guppy ni. Selamat jalan semua dan semoga berkembang biak dengan lebih banyak lagi. Dengan itu, Assalamualaikum dan kita jumpa lagi.